Okay.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert. Well, if Avery thought that QT was evil, she better hope that she never plays with this guy. It's our friend Jordan Stab.
What an introduction.
That is an introduction, and it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they were calling people names like Serpent on here. Like, imagine what they'd call you.
Yeah, I haven't even had a chance to look at like the hashtag on Twitter yet, but I'm praying for her.
Yeah. Do you think QT was immoral in this game by doing nothing?
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it because like I get Avery, but also like yeah.
I mean, I also have to say, Jordan, so when we asked you to come on the podcast, I was thinking, Jordan has played the Circle before. He is an aggressive game player. He'll be such a great guest. And then last night I was thinking, oh yeah, he also played the Circle with QT and Kyle. I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was like, oh well, yeah, he'll be great. So, that is a plus that we have you here.
Yeah, I just literally binged all of it. I'm still processing. I'm ready to process it with y'all, and really get to the nitty gritty. Because I'm telling you, this is the first time I've done a podcast, and I took notes, and it is a lot.
Oh wow, you took notes.
Yeah, he took notes.
Oh, yeah. I had to.
Well, before we get into things, how have you been, Jordan, since last time we spoke to you? I think it was for Circle Season 7.
Yeah.
I've been good. Living the dream. Moved. I got a puppy. I would show you all my puppy, but I don't know where he's at right now. He's running around.
Puppy.
Yeah, he bit me in the face. So
good puppy.
Fucked me up. I thought I needed stitches.
He's honest, okay?
He is. He's very honest. But yeah, other than that, no. Just been chilling. Just went to like the Bryson Wynn Survivor event Wednesday with Daniel, who was just on here. Just been having fun.
Nice.
Chilling.
Yeah, Daniel didn't think that we knew you. He kept being like Jordan from season 6, and
he's like, you guys know Jordan. We're like, we know Jordan.
We know Jordan. Yeah. He's our best friend.
He's the one. He's the like why I did the podcast the first time.
I
know.
Yeah. Met Jordan in person multiple times. It's like, get over it. You, me, and Jordan have been in the same place at the same time.
Oh my God! Yeah, literally. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Daniel asked Max, "Do you know Ben?"
Yeah,
I know him.
Yeah, okay, Daniel. All right, well, let's start getting into things. We have this, the spelling bee. We get the continuance of the spelling bee, where we still have this continued thing of Avery deciding.
What a cliffhanger.
With a cliffhanger, if she's going to throw spelling the word revenge. It's this big dilemma for her. Jordan, do you think that anybody should have been throwing the spelling bee to begin with? Is that
It's embarrassing. Yeah.
No, but especially with like the words they were given. Like, and I get it, it's like a pressure cooker, so I'm sure you can get like kind of what happened with QT. But the words were so like, if you misspell revenge, I'm looking at you sideways, not for like messing up, but just like revenge. Come on, girl. Like what are you doing here?
It's also, we were talking about how Avery comes off as intelligent, so like people would instantly be suspicious of her. And I mean, that's why she felt it of QT. It was just weird that they spent so much time on her thinking about it. I guess we found out later, because then she seemed kind of hypocritical for judging QT so hard for something that she strongly considered doing.
Now, what I will give Avery is like, the fact that she was reading QT as a gamer is like spot on, considering the fact like the Circle hadn't aired when they filmed it.
Yes.
So that helped QT so much. So the fact that Avery was picking up on something, I think she was just on a different frequency.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she did say,
I'm a professional gamer. I know a gamer when I see one.
yes,
Is he a professional gamer? I hadn't heard that before. from her.
professional
Oh,
gamer knows
interesting.
professional gamer, okay?
Yeah.
No, I felt like Avery just kept like contradicting herself through this entire episode. She's saying, "Oh, QT's so smart," but then she keeps saying throughout the episode, "Oh, she's so dumb. She just said this and that. She reads all these books and she's slipping up right and left." It's like, well, which is it? Is she dumb or is she smart? What is it?
And that's like the hardest part too, because if Avery was correct about the original thing, all of the
Mhm.
little signs would have made sense. But it was just the fact that the I don't know.
Also, if Avery was correct about QT throwing it, isn't it a little hypocritical considering there was a
Yes.
whole cliffhanger revolving around the fact that she was thinking of
100%.
throwing it to herself?
Yes, and it's also like it would have been so obvious if you were throwing it. Why would have anyone? I would have never thought anyone would have thrown it. It would have been too obvious.
If she was a
Yeah.
gamer, she wouldn't have thrown it because, I mean, QT says this later. Why would you want your name on the wheel?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. If
It
you're smart
doesn't.
enough to be a gamer and actually play the game, you wouldn't want your name on the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you risk any percent chance? It just doesn't make sense.
This isn't Survivor, you know.
Yeah.
You don't play this game like Survivor.
Yeah,
You're
you
going to get
throwing
screwed.
challenges makes absolutely no sense. It's not worth risking it.
Right.
It's only worth it to vote off a member of your team, but it's not worth it to lose a challenge, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're in like
100%.
a really bad position and you're like, it's actually worth it. But it wouldn't have been worth it for QT at this point to lose the even numbers and risk
Yeah.
going home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that like Avery has this moral superiority thing about playing like an honest game and having integrity. And I don't always mind that if people are using it as a strategy to kind of like get people to submit or kind of get people all against one person. But this felt very genuine from her. It was very weird.
Very bizarre.
100%, especially with her confessionals. Like it was lining up to what she was saying in the game, and that's where I felt a disconnect from Avery, like the player. It just it I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't the Avery that I felt like I knew.
Yeah. Because
I would think a hardcore gamer. I would think a
Yeah.
hardcore gamer wouldn't have those types of, I don't know, ethical standards. Going into a game like that, it's weird. You can't even call them ethical standards either because there are no like rules to it. It's just it's just a dumb game. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, it's like in Call of Duty, you're not supposed to have friendly fire and shoot your own team, Ben. So maybe she considers this
Oh.
friendly fire.
It's
You
friendly
know?
fire.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. If she sees friendly fire, she calls the CEO of Blizzard Activision and lets them know that it happened. She finds it unethical.
And I will say, because we'll see how hard I go in. I've met Avery in real life. Love her. She's a great person in real life. And as someone who has been dragged by the internet, I feel comfortable here criticizing gameplay to the furthest if
Yes.
it comes down to it. So I just want to put that
Right.
disclaimer out there.
Yeah, I mean, we are criticizing just her gameplay. Like, we like Avery as a person. We don't think that she, like, bullied anyone or anything. We just find it very odd because she put all this targeting on QT and then she didn't even vote for her because she had this whole moral thing where, like, well, I'm a good person, even though you strategized all this time, which I don't think makes you a bad person. But then you're like, because I'm such a good person, I won't vote for a member of my own team. It was so confusing, but you basically strategized against her.
When she said she voted for Trey, I was like, wait. I had to like pause and rewind. I was like, ooh, I'm so confused.
I know.
Yeah.
She lives by a code that we can't crack. I don't get it.
But so many people on this show live by that same code. Just look at all the shit that's been happening with Trey in these episodes too, where it's like everybody's like, you're a snake in the grass, even though like they're the ones like trying to push him to do these things.
Right.
And yet like Trey can't make a single move without someone calling him a snake or like some evil serpent, or something like that. It's like,
I didn't even
come
think.
on, what's going on, guys? Are we allowed to play the game or not?
Yeah, I've seen like people talking about how much of a villain Trey was, and I was like, I didn't even think Trey was that villainous. I mean, other than like when he turned on Louis, other than that, I feel like he's just been trying to find his like grounding again in the game.
See,
I
even
feel like
then, I
they-
don't
they
think he
just
was
don't
being
like
a villain
Trey.
turning on Louis at all. I don't think he
No,
was being
yeah.
a villain.
He had to stay in the game. He was on the bottom. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they just don't like him. I think he's not in like their influencer kind of sphere, and they all kind of know each other. And he's on the outs, and I just don't think that he really fits in. So he's kind of the easy person to call the snake. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
he's the
feel
scapegoat. Yeah.
Chase is not going to face repercussions from this. I don't think.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't watched
Not at all.
episodes 9 and 10, but I just think that he's friends with them and he fits in.
And Chase has his own agenda too. Chase, Chase likes being tight with Kyle. He likes having Kyle as his pair on the other side. That's in the blue cabin.
I mean, when Kyle pulls that move where he tries to get Trey to throw the challenge, and then Trey tells everyone, Chase is like, "Oh, respect, no problem with that." He doesn't view that as a snake move because he likes Kyle, because Kyle's like him, and Trey is a nerd, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's continue with the spelling bee. So Avery doesn't throw it. Then we get QT with Nick. Nick very impressively spells adventure. I can't believe it.
Big
MIT,
brain over
baby.
here.
Did you guys
Right.
know that Nick went to MIT? I didn't know
What?
that. What? I know. Hard to
So
believe.
you're telling me that Avery's a gamer and Nick went to MIT?
Believe
This
it
is
or
all
not,
news to me.
new information. Yes.
I don't understand why I get people misspelled them, and maybe this is the viewer and just not like being there in the moment. But I really felt like they were giving them like third grade vocabulary. Like I did not understand why majority of the words were so easy.
They were very easy. Yeah.
Maybe they did like a pre-test before this, and like it was like really bad.
I think you're right. They had to have in like the application process or something.
Yeah.
Like, here's a list of words. Let's see what you can spell and what you can't.
Yeah, QT misspells advantage. I mean, I gotta be honest, I would be like a little suspicious too.
But Max, she
I
reads
know.
3,000 books a year.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah, especially with it like the ADA. Like if she got like to the A, well, actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
I love
it's really early on in a word to mess it up, right? On like the third
Yeah.
letter, it's like.
Well, and it also makes me wonder, like, how long have they been out there, right? Because I can't imagine they've been out there for 30 minutes. I imagine they've been out there for a long time filming this challenge. Because
Probably.
I just like she reads all the time. Like I don't know how she fumbled that.
I will
What if
say,
it's just what if it's just all like Dr. Seuss books though, or like what?
Yeah, right.
reading is different than spelling, though, right? I mean, to give her some credit, like I feel like some people like read a lot, but when it comes to like actually writing and spelling, like it's kind of like a different.
I don't think it had anything to do with that though. I think she just panicked in the moment.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
got
I think
too
she
much in her
threw
own
it.
head.
'Cause she's a bad person.
Oh my god! And she went fucking
Done everything.
flying. I wrote that down. I said, "Holy fuck, QT flew." When she
I know.
caught
she did.
air.
Well, she deserved it.
Yeah,
She should have gone farther.
yeah. 1,000 books a year. Come on.
Yeah, and she did a split. I was like, "What is happening here?"
What are you saying? What are you, one of the cheer girls? Come
I
on.
know.
Do a few
Uh,
backflips while you're up there.
We get the final round, Shuby versus Trey, and Shuby gets ecosystem.
He thought it
wrong.
was Echo.
Yeah,
Come on.
okay, liar.
I feel like an eco idiot.
Because you are.
And no one questioned Shuby.
He's
no
a beautiful
one
baby boy. They
questioned-
like him. He's a nerd that they like.
That is a grown man. That is a grown man.
He's a baby, and they love him. He's their baby boy. Don't talk bad about him.
Yeah.
Shuby is a baby, so he's okay.
We
Trey is
all
an
wanna
adult,
swaddle
so we don't
him.
like him.
We all want to swaddle him. We all want to hold
Yes.
him. Okay. He is not a man. It's okay.
I love them talking about the difference between like QT and Shuby. They're like, she would do that. Shuby would never do anything wrong.
Shuby's perfect.
And it's like, what has QT done up until this point? Like, what has she done to make them think
She hasn't done anything.
nothing?
I think there's always just been the underlying feeling that like QT and Avery know that they're the biggest gamers in their cabin. And I think it's finally like coming to a helm.
Yeah.
Even though Shuby is also a gamer, but I do think there's also the element of like,
Yeah.
of like he's not really like a physical threat, you know. So it's like, why would we waste time trying to like get Shuby out where he's not gonna like beat us at challenges if this goes individual?
Hey,
you know?
you know what? He is a threat. He knows that the closest star to our planet is the sun. Okay.
I know. I really thought it was Pluto. Also, I was very confused.
It's just like this is Shuby's third show, and you don't even know anything about QT, but Shuby's getting the pass. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Well, it was good. It's like on Survivor, Tony wins his first season. No, Shuby didn't, but he was close. Then Tony's second season, he totally bungles it, so he lowers his threat level. So when Shuby came back his second season and totally fucked it up and had to roleplay as Sasha, he lowered his threat level so no one's taking him seriously.
This is winners at war.
Yes,
Shuby's gonna win. And then he's gonna go on Traders, and he's gonna go out right away.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, he'd be so funny on Traders if they made him a trader.
Yeah, someone confronts him. Shuby, are you a trader? Don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Shuby kind of tells me he's a trader in his own Shuby way, you know?
Yeah.
Just don't trust me. Okay? Just don't trust me. I'm not a good guy.
He would be telling everybody I am a traitor, and they would go, "Don't vote for Shuby as a traitor. He's beautiful. He's a baby
boy. I love him."
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right, let's get so the Red Eagles win because Trey can spell wholesome. I don't know how he did that. I don't know.
That's a miracle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's no punishment today, which I think makes sense because like there's so many names already on the board, and you want voting to be possible / matter. I think there had to be no punishment.
By the way, did you pick up that Taylor, the host, admitted he couldn't spell any of those words either? So
yeah, well, he has
nice to
CTE
see they're all on
probably.
the
So
same
yeah, I think. Sorry, Jordan, you have to say something?
No, I was just gonna say the host. I haven't known him before this, but he's really not giving me much. Every time there is not much inflection in his voice. I never get excited from him. I never feel anything from him.
You know what's interesting is we follow him on Instagram through our Reality Alert account. I saw some videos from him last night, like because for the NFL draft, he was doing like content and stuff. I was like, he's way more animated and more fun in these videos than what he is on Battle Camp. I was like, why is that the case? Was it a directorial thing? Or
I don't know, it was the first episode, right when he started talking. I'm like, okay, we're at Battle Camp now, but you're really not getting me excited here.
Yeah, he's pretty subdued in this.
Yeah. Is this content, Ben, you're talking about? I haven't seen it. Is it unscripted? Like, is it just him like riffing?
Yes. Yep.
So it might be like because everything is pretty scripted. That
just
like
out of his element, sort
that
of.
he's like out of his element.
Yeah.
Like TJ Lavin on the challenge got really good, but he was like very stiff early
at the beginning. Yeah.
In the beginning, like really stiff. And that wasn't even like scripted. And then like as things went on, he might just be like nervous. But yeah, it's really not good. I don't know why he was selected for a show.
I think he could be good though, based on what I've seen of him.
Okay, so they saw that. Yeah.
We're on episode 6 now, and it's still
it's flat. It's flat.
Yeah.
It just
TJ though at the beginning of the challenge.
It took TJ like 4 seasons and then he got good. But I don't know if like a show like this at like this with how TV works now, you want to like risk that. You know what I mean?
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I also think that the wheel ceremonies would be more fun if a host was like really amped about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we get to the red cabin after the challenge, and Chase very quickly asks if they can vote off their own team members. He like really wants to know what the deal is.
Serpent.
Yes, but he's not a serpent. Blue cabin, Avery and QT quickly tell Kyle that Trey is a snake. And QT is very annoyed with Avery, how she's talking over her. And QT is telling us that she doesn't like Avery now. So they are beefing.
Yeah.
But I clocked that tea before her confessional even came with her saying it. I was like, oh, I would be so annoyed right now too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you infamously kind of beefed with QT on your season. Would you say that?
Yeah, a little. I mean, a little.
with everyone.
Not as much as Avery.
Yeah, QT wasn't in the direct crosshairs, but she was somewhere over here.
Yeah, you had a target on your season, Miles.
Yup.
You were determined to get him out. Who would be your Miles of this season? Who would you need to get out?
Good question.
If you arrived, because I guess Chase and Kyle were kind of in like your position.
Well, but before I get to that, and that's the other reason I sympathize with Avery a little bit, is because like I did see a little bit of myself in her, where like watching it back, like I had my reasons to go for Miles, but like I really started running around trying to get everyone to take out Miles when my reason was kind of a little unjust in the reason I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
But who would I have gotten? That's hard to say, because honestly, I didn't know a lot. I would have probably targeted Avery, if I'm being completely honest. I would have been like, who's the gamer here? That's probably who I'm going for.
See, my Miles, it'd be Lorenzo and Georgia. Those two are just like crushing this game right now, and nobody's voting for them.
Yeah, only Kyle has picked up on that, really. He's the only person who's like voted for them. Yeah. Well, I guess some people have voted for Georgia, but I don't know.
It was Morgan that voted for Georgia.
Yeah, some people have. Georgia's gotten votes. Lorenzo's only gotten one vote.
Georgia only got one vote.
But she's gotten votes before.
Has she?
Yeah, I think Shuby's voted for her and QT has voted for her, because they've had a discussion when they're talking about voting for Georgia, and they're like, well, we've done it before, so we can split votes on her again.
Yeah. I just feel like they're running this game.
Yeah.
Morgan and Lorenzo. They're a strong pair.
Yeah.
It's flying right under the radar.
It's because they know how to shut the fuck up.
Literally.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I would have been in trouble already.
Yeah.
So many people get into problems on this show because they just won't shut the fuck up. It's like, you just shut up.
I mean, I'm happy that they're not shutting the fuck up, because I think the show has got really fun these past 3 episodes. Like, I'm super into it now. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people digging their own graves, though, it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. So over in the red cabin, QT is floated around because she is smart as a nomination. Lorenzo does say Shuby. Like, I think Lorenzo's kind of into the fact that, like, Shuby is going to float to the end of the game, but people are like, no, he can't spell ecosystem. So why would we be worried about Shuby?
I mean, they do have a point.
And then Nick,
but he does know that the star is the closest, or that the sun is the closest star.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nick, of course, says, let's keep Shuby. I feel like people aren't clocking Nick and Shuby's friendship, or we're not seeing this discussed. Like, I feel like they're being smart to the degree that they're like meeting up together, and it's very opposite to the way that Chase and Kyle are meeting up. The way that people talk about Chase and Kyle, like, it's so obvious the way that they're strategizing. And it's funny because we literally see Nick and Shuby talking at the same time as them, but nobody's threatened by them. I feel like Shuby and Nick's alliance is going really well. Thoughts?
I agree. But I also wonder, it's like, how many people here have actually seen The Circle to like know? Because like, I only knew like half of this cast from like shows I've actually watched. So that also goes into play as well as like the previous dynamics. Although, like, I don't know, I wish I had a visual of the cast right here. Ignore me.
You know, I think Shuby and Nick, the reason that this is working out so well for them is because they do this with everybody. They have good relationships with everybody on the cast. And so if they're going off by themselves at any point, I don't think anyone bats an eye, because they do it with everyone. They both have very good social games, I think.
Yeah. And I will say it works out for them, because I think that they're like genuinely really friendly people. Yeah. I'll just say from like meeting them, like they're both like, they've always been like super gracious and nice. And I just think that like they do get along with like different groups of people. And I'm not like hating on like the rest of the cast, but I just think that that's like a very easy thing for them just to get along with like everybody, you know? And I think that that's like a very special skill that they have.
Right. Well, and then Nick came in, got 7 votes the moment he got there. And then now it's like, oh, doesn't matter. He survived induction, even though like everything they were saying at the beginning was so valid. He's so social. He's so strong. But let's forget about all that now.
Yeah. More connections than possibly anyone else in the game, too.
He just used that Big Nick energy, you know? He just charmed them.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also just like the Red Eagles just kind of like being able to dominate the Bears, and then all these other drama plot lines. It's just so easy to go into the background and be like, well, nobody's even thinking about Nick, you know? He just stayed quiet too.
The addition of Chase and Kyle definitely helped too.
Yeah. So, I mean, so many things. Yeah. They also point out Avery as the leader of the Bears in the Red Cabin, which I think is funny because she's so like talking about how she's like trying to reduce her threat level, and it's just like it's kind of pointless, you know. It's like your personality comes through.
Do you think it's because she's a professional gamer? Could that be why she has such a big target?
Yeah, and like everybody else is basically a professional gamer, so gamers know gamers. You know, it's a gamer world. We go to the bathroom. Avery tells Gio that QT definitely threw the challenge, and he eats this up. He's Team Avery. He's Team Honesty, Integrity, Character, all of the important values.
Yeah, he hopped on so fast, and like I was saying, I can't even give her the benefit of the doubt, but it's like if Avery had already known who QT was from watching The Circle, I would get why she could maybe think, actually, no, because never mind. It would be so stupid to throw it. Never mind. That doesn't even make sense.
It makes sense to throw the challenge.
Yeah.
It's also like, this isn't Bible camp. It's battle camp. Like, you're supposed to battle. Why is it such a big deal to these people?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, QT's actions confirm." Like she spins in her head all these ways that Avery is like confirming that QT's confirming the lie. We get to this grilling thing. Where did this puppy come from? This dog?
I thought the same thing.
He was in a previous episode.
Well,
very briefly. I'm gonna guess it's a stray.
It's a stray. Aw, puppy. Aw. Let's see. So Morgan is afraid of ketchup. I've known people to be afraid of ketchup before. I wonder if that has a specific phobia name. She also talks about all the food that she hates, but it seems that she likes chips. So she seemed kind of unhappy on the show, and she normally has like a bubbly personality. Do we think that she's unhappy because she doesn't have anything to eat? Like there's not enough ranch and chips for her there?
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so confused. I've never seen Cheer. Gabby was giving something to me. Like I understood Gabby's place on the show as like casting. Morgan, bless her heart, has really gave me nothing at all. The only thing I remember about Morgan is what you just said, is she doesn't like a lot of foods.
Dude,
yeah, we haven't heard a lot of strategy.
I met her the other night. She was like super bubbly, friendly, like just like beaming. And you watch her on the show, and I was like, "Who is this? Like a doppelganger?" You know? It was like, what is? Like, she just seems she did not seem happy to be there. Like, I wonder what's going on. Like, very weird energy. You know?
Yeah.
There was no cheerleading happening.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
Avery talks to Georgia and Lorenzo and says QT threw the challenge. And she's like, think about this deeply. I really need you to think about this deeply, because on a surface level, it doesn't make any sense. So you need to really get it around in your mind.
And Avery's downfall was very similar to my downfall in The Circle, whereas she assumed everyone was thinking the same way she was. And that's where this whole situation with QT started in the first place.
Yeah.
Like it was all projection.
Yeah, I think she could have lasted like a lot longer if she just chilled out more, you know?
Yeah.
I feel the way
it was not the right time to be going after anyone in your bunk, even if you had beef with them. Like, you gotta let it go for a little while longer.
Yeah, because even if you lasted, then you have one less person on your team. Like, it just doesn't really make sense.
It's all like the 0 to 100. Like, they literally had to make a montage of her going to every single person in probably the span of just a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love at the wheel, she's claiming that she didn't go to
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
to get her voted out. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. QT then goes to Kyle and he's like, I just got here and you're telling me all this drama, like, and then of course then he causes drama with like 10 minutes like into himself.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get to the red cabin. Lorenzo is like, I don't really this whole QT Avery thing really doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
I feel like Avery's saving her own ass. And I like how he's like, I'm tempted to go tell QT what Avery is saying, but I learned a lot from Squid Game. And if I cause a lot of chaos, like my instincts tell me to, I'm probably going to go home and I actually want to win this game show. So I'm going to chill out. I'm kind of sad that he's learned that lesson because he's very entertaining, but I respect him. Like,
He's still entertaining, though. I love his snide little comments. Like,
no, I do.
they're fantastic.
He was wild on Squid Game. Like
He
he
was.
was chaotic. But
He was like one of the only people I remembered on Squid
Yes.
Game. Like, he was like one
Same.
of 3 guys.
he
that
was
I
stealing
remembered.
food. That is,
I didn't understand why, like in episode 1, they were trying to like build up this storyline with Trey and Lorenzo, like, oh, I hope this guy isn't here, da 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 da. But then nothing even came out of it.
yeah, we were talking about that too. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even at this point, nothing has still come out of it. I'm like, why was that even mentioned?
Yeah.
Because Lorenzo like wants to win. You know, he's like, I'm not gonna cause a beef, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Trey is pretty strategic too, and he's like, it's not gonna benefit me to like beef with someone over like bullshit that doesn't really matter. I'm guessing that's what happened.
Now,
But
if it was
yeah.
Trey's mom in there instead, then there would have been beef. for
Oh
sure.
yeah, Trey's mom would beat the shit out of Lorenzo.
Uh-huh.
Or challenging.
Can you imagine her getting shocked on that fucking wall?
She would like punch the buzzers and break
Yeah.
them if she
Yeah,
was doing it. She
yeah,
was
she'd
tough.
crush it.
So at breakfast, we learned that it's a double elimination. I kind of wish that there were more double eliminations. I think that when those happen, it actually gets more interesting, especially with the probabilities and stuff. Yeah.
It was fun.
QT, this is where she says if she won the money, she would open a bookstore. And everyone's like, what? And then she says she loves reading, but she isn't good at spelling. I think the biggest red flag about this is that she lives in Los Angeles. You can't open a bookstore with $250,000 game show winnings after tax, especially. Red flag.
The problem is when she opens her bookstore, she spells it QT's Books BUOKS. So that's a problem, you know.
Oh fuck.
Also, what a terrible investment. QT, please don't open a bookstore.
Nobody reads QT.
Nobody reads but you, allegedly.
1,000 a
Oh my
month.
God.
Yeah, Avery flips out about this one. Polly, Gio, and Shoebomb talk. And Gio tells Polly and Shoebomb that Avery thinks QT threw the challenge. And he says he's thinking QT or Trey for the vote. I thought it was interesting that he did this in front of Shooby, who is like
Oh, yeah.
clearly good friends with QT. Like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle and Trey talk. This is where Kyle kind of like tests Trey, thinking that he'll open up and tell him that he stabbed Louis in the back. And when Trey doesn't do it, Kyle is very mad as he walks away, saying that he's a backstabber or a liar because he didn't say, oh, by the way, I stabbed Louis in the back the last vote.
Yeah.
He takes it very personally.
Yeah.
Goes and grabs a suitcase and unzips it. Get in.
Jordan, when you were in the circle with Kyle, what was and you didn't know, and you hadn't met him in person yet, like what was your impression of him like as you were playing with him?
Well, it's kind of funny because it's almost a similar situation. Like I went to Kyle thinking Kyle was the dumb jock that was going to open up to me. And Kyle didn't open up to me right when I got there because he was like, I'm not going to trust you. Why would I tell you anything? And then I got mad at Kyle for that. So it's almost like the same thing, but reverse. My perception of Kyle was like, oh, he's just muscle. He's like the muscle casting here. Like there's nothing going on there. I thought I could do whatever I wanted with him. Not like that.
Yeah, that did work for him on the circle. I think for here, if he had been a little less messy, it could have worked for him more again too. But he started like playing a little too hard.
He's just one of those guys who just hits the ground running so fast and
Yeah.
just 0 to 100. And you could tell, like even QT's like, slow it down.
Yeah. Shuby watches Chase on the monkey bars and wants him gone. Yeah, Shuby's really targeting Chase with every vote. It doesn't matter who anyone is voting for. Shuby's like, Chase needs to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
We'll see.
Ben, you
Very
predicted that
good.
you predicted that wheel puns were going to come out.
I did. Yep.
How did you do that?
I don't really know.
Oh, got him.
Oh.
There we go. Okay. So QT talks about how she loves reading, and you see smoke coming out of Avery's ears. She's gonna like,
She's like, y'all fucking hearing
explode.
this shit.
Yeah.
She's like, she's lying.
I thought she was gonna scream.
Oh my god.
So with the double elimination coming up, Nick and Shuby, they get to nerd out about math.
Now that we know it's a double elimination, I think it actually makes more sense to spread the votes out as much as possible, because if you put 7 votes on one person, they spin the wheel the first time and it lands on that person, then they're going to remove all 7 of those names. So now there's only 11 slots left. So if you're one of those names, you already have a 1 out of 11 chance of going home, which is like crazy compared to 1 out of 18. So you want to spread it out so that your probability of getting chosen is still low after the first spin.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
So
Double
wait,
eliminations
yeah.
does change up the math with a double elim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to necessarily go back to the whole Nick and Shuby conversation, but are they just having their conversations more privately, because to where people aren't clocking them like Chase and Kyle? Because literally Nick and Shuby are like sitting on the bench talking about the wheel, and I'm like, no one's clocking this.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. They're just better at it. You know.
Again,
They're,
I think they're just
do it less.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're just social butterflies, so people don't think twice when they're having one-on-one conversations with other people. Because I think they're having those one-on-ones with everyone. I mean, look at even, Shuby has one-on-one conversations with Trey. He has one-on-one conversations with Kyle. He has one-on-ones with everybody. So,
And I think that Shuby and Nick aren't in their cabins bringing up strategy. They're just participating. So, I feel like we see
team strategy is the only strategy they talk about.
Yeah, Shuby only is like, hey, like Kyle brings up something and Shuby's like, keep it on the DL. He never proposes anything. So nobody is suspicious of Nick and Shuby going and strategizing with other people. They're like, oh, they're probably just shooting the shit,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. But yeah, this is like where I start to get sold on the wheel, because people, as the game goes on, start to develop strategies about what to do, like when the wheel has twists and stuff. And I just think it's like a fun concept. Jordan, how do you feel about the wheel?
When I first heard it was a wheel, I hated it. I hated the idea of the random aspect, but I have liked how it has played out. And I also just like it from like a viewer perspective. It's a fun show to watch. It's not too deep. Like, if you want the strategy, you can find that, but you also don't have to be like locked into strategy to enjoy the show. And yeah, like you were saying, now that we're getting more later in the episodes, especially when they were talking about like Trey, if you lose it, then like that's gonna help you, because instead of everyone voting on you, like your whole team is over here and you've got this amount of people, we only have this much. And then it was kind of making sense. I like it. I thought I wasn't going to.
It's added a bit of chaos, and
Yeah.
I will say this particular elimination was particularly satisfying.
Yeah.
With the wheel. So how can you not like the wheel after what just happened with this episode?
Yeah, I think it's really fun. And having somebody like Nick there to like kind of like brainiac it down on are you the one? People would do that sometimes because you have to find your perfect match.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And then people would like do calculations and be like, "Oh, that's cool." They're like they're doing like the.
But then some
mathematics
others
stuff.
would be like, "Screw that! I'm not voting now."
I have to find love. And like you have people here being like, "Stop doing the math. The wheel will do what it wants. We have to trust
praise
its
the
fate."
wheel.
Raise the
Well, and then
wheel.
like Avery throughout the whole season keeps like saying things, and I'm like, is she low-key trying to like say it's rigged? Like new people are coming in and she's like, well, the wheel just has a way of like doing what it needs to do, and it always happens to work out how it's supposed to. I'm like, what are you trying to say?
She really does. She's fallen for the principles of the wheel, I think.
Yeah, I think
She's all in on the wheel at
Yeah.
this point. Yeah.
Polly and Kyle talk, and Polly plants seeds in Kyle's ears to make the bears crumble, she says. She tells Kyle that Avery has been telling people that QT may have thrown that challenge, and Kyle says he has to get to the bottom of this, but like it's clearly too late. Like he tells QT this, but like it doesn't. It's too late in the game before voting.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. Let's get to the voting. The only thing that we really see in the voting is that Avery writes "betray" on her thing, and we get like a little voting confessional, like it's in Survivor. But it is funny because the votes aren't read.
Yeah, no one's gonna see them.
Yeah.
And then it made me kind of
For the
question this whole
confessional,
voting thing anyway, like how they write it out and they put it in the box and everything.
Yeah.
But we don't see the host take out the votes.
Yeah. Also, have y'all noticed that like sometimes when the camera's on the wheel, you can see the name before it lights up?
That's
Did
what
y'all
Ben
see
said.
Yeah, I sent that. I sent a couple photos to Max this morning. Of
Yeah, I want
the
to.
fact that you can literally see all the names up on the board beforehand.
I'm wondering if they could see it. I want to ask them
think-
because
I think they
Yeah.
can. I think the lighting is just for the cameras. Yeah, so that the cameras can see it.
yeah,
But-
that's interesting.
So we think that they can see their names.
Yeah, I mean,
On the board.
unless
yeah,
the
on
camera's
wheel.
just picking it up and you can't see with the human eye. but
Yeah, I
that
guess
doesn't
they
fucking
could,
make
so they
sense.
know. Yeah, I mean that would make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
So between the voting, Shubham and Nick calculating some things, we see that Lorenzo and QT talk, and QT talks about how Avery betrayed her. We get this, I think it's a confessional from Lorenzo. I liked hearing about his strategy.
In this game, the more you talk, the more you will become the target. The best thing is just like not say anything to anyone and just hope for the best.
Yeah. What if you just said nothing?
Oddly enough, that strategy is working
Yeah.
great.
I know. I like,
Power to them. I couldn't do it, but
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut either. But
Boring. Boo tomato, boo tomato, boo tomato, boo tomato.
That'd be Jordan the whole time.
yeah.
Yes. And this is where we learned that Avery and Gio are sitting, and they say that they talk about how they hope the wheel will reward people who played a fair and honest game because they voted for Trey, not a member of their own team.
excuse me, the wheel treasures entertainment, like all of us do.
Yes. But Avery's not completely honest.
Yeah.
And the wheel knew that.
Yeah, the wheel knew that. Yes.
Yeah, it was literally like they were like clipping in her confessionals, and I was like, she is reading herself for filth right now and not even realizing it. Like everything she is saying is about herself.
Yeah.
And the wheel knew it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the wheel spin. Chase gets 2 votes, one from Morgan, who I forgot was there. She says he's a threat and a leader. Shubham, of course, votes for him. That's 2 votes. Let's get to Trey. Gets votes from Kyle, Gio, Avery. Gio and Avery are like, we had to avenge Louis. They get 3 votes. I'm like, Louis wasn't even on your team. Like, why do you
Why?
care?
Why?
What is like? This is so strange to me.
Yeah.
Really bizarre.
Yes.
They just really loved Louis, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and they raised their hands to be like, we did this. We are a member of the good girls and
Yeah.
boys club.
Yeah, I am Spartacus.
Yeah.
Well, and then didn't Avery even like call Trey out? Like she was like, your true colors are showing, and like thank you for showing us. And I was like,
What are you
What? Coming
Yeah.
from you?
I know. Although I really respect Trey for like not backing down and just like maintaining his composure. He maintains it really well. It seems hard in these situations when everybody is against you just to be like, no, I do what I have to do, and like we're playing a game. You know, it
Oh my
is
God,
hard
I'd be
with
snapping
everybody
back so
against you.
fast.
I know. It can also be
I'd have no
upsetting.
self-control. Are you kidding?
I know. I mean, you're fucking. It's a game. I need money.
Yeah.
A recession is coming, you idiots.
And he literally was like, it was me or him. And people were like, yep. And we see what that means. And it's like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Everyone's like, I would have quit for
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah.
I'm like, for Louis, he was just here to hook up. What?
Yeah, seriously. Louis won. He won Brie. and
I don't
she
even
won
think
him.
Louis cares. Do you think Louis is like
gonna
super upset? Like he's chill. What's the big deal? We get to QT. Georgia votes for her. It seems that Avery got to her a little bit. Chase thinks that QT threw the challenge, gives her a vote. And Polly thinks she threw the challenge. So QT gets 3 votes. And this is where
I was
we
surprised that Georgia and Lorenzo didn't vote together on this one.
Yes, that was
That was very
surprising.
surprising.
Yeah. This is where they kind of tiff. I think my favorite part of this was definitely
I've played an honest game. I don't go behind people's back. I don't lie to them. I didn't vote for my own team.
Yeah, but I did. And I'm
Yeah. Let's go.
She said so little, but ate her up so hard with that.
you know.
Circle.
Oh man.
I love it.
So Avery got votes from QT, Trey, Nick, and Lorenzo. So she got 4 votes. And then Avery is eliminated.
The wheel has a funny way of working out sometimes.
Yeah,
She
it
said
does.
that right before it spun.
I love that. I love it.
And then she leaves and she says the same exact thing. QT, I played an honest game, and betraying your own cabin, I would never do that. You did!
You
Yeah,
did.
no, I felt like I was being gaslit. Like
I
watching
know.
it. I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening?
At
I was
least
like, wait,
QT
did
called
she?
that out. QT's like, that's literally what you just did, though.
But then amidst all of that, before the wheel spins, like Avery like looks at QT and goes like, "Good luck, by the way, though. Like, good luck." Like what?
Okay. Yeah.
And then Gio's
Like, well, you
eliminated.
just fucked my game, and it's gonna take like probably several days to clean this mess
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
bye.
I like when Gio's eliminated, he's like, Polly, I hope you win, and then you can buy some real estate in Orange County. And it's like, you can't afford any real estate in Orange County. What do these people think this money does?
Yeah.
We get to the red cabin afterwards, and Chase is like, is what Avery said true? And Trey owns up to it. And Chase is like, I don't know about Trey, but Trey, if you do something, make sure you collude with all of us, okay? If you're going to do any backstabbing, we all have to be involved, okay? That's how this works now. We own you.
Apparently so.
Yes. Let's get to shock climbing. I just want to say real quickly, did you guys notice when the teams pulled up and they did like their little poses before the confessional that Shuby had his team do a Spider-Man pose?
I did. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know.
With great power comes great responsibility, just like Spider-Man.
You had to get Spider-Man in there.
He was referencing his quote.
How did we feel about this challenge? Jordan, thoughts?
I'm not going to lie. This was the one challenge I did fast forward through just because it was so repetitive. I can't. It was fun. Like, oh, we're getting shocked, but it's like, okay, now I've seen y'all climb like multiple times now. I don't need to keep saying this. Just show me the points.
Yeah, it was a little.
I would say it wasn't that shocking. It was like they could have upped the voltage a little bit
Yeah.
more. You know?
Like we should have seen their hair stick up and
Yeah,
seen, like,
I want to see that. I want to see like the smoke coming from their head.
we should have seen like X-ray, like their bones through their body and stuff.
Yeah. We got Alex Lake in the chat. He says Spider-Man is cool. Bum there was no Sarah Paulson reference from Shooby.
Oh, hey, Alex.
Yeah, it's his classic Sarah.
What up?
His classic Sarah Paulson reference from season 1.
Happy first birthday to Alex's child today.
Yay!
Yay.
Happy birthday, baby.
There we go. Let's just talk about the challenge widely then. I thought Morgan was very impressive, very fast. And everybody got shocked, but the Eagles did win. Okay, anything else, Ben? For those of us who
I thought that the Eagles were going to dominate that from the beginning, and then
I mean, Lorenzo ate it the fuck up.
Yeah,
that's the way is like he just flew through there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. We get to the red cabin. Trey feels out of the team. He doesn't feel a part of the celebration. They talk over him. This is really like not good gameplay by the rest of the Eagles to make him feel so left out. Like, you guys need to at least fake include him, even if you don't like him.
You don't trust him? Well, you're really not going to trust him if you ostracize him completely. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, like it's really bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Blue cabin, they prepare to be under attack, and I love how Kyle's like, we can do this. If we believe in this, you can believe in anything. We can accomplish whatever we want to, and then he says we'll just get Trey to flip. They discuss voting on Chase and Georgia. That's their current plan. Kyle asks Trey to come talk to him right in front of Lorenzo and Polly. Trey tells Kyle he feels pretty lonely. But this is them, but like he calls Trey to come talk to him. Kyle tells Trey that he needs him, he needs manpower, and that if he comes with the Bears, he'll be part of the team. And Kyle says, tell me tomorrow who, and we make that happen. But I think it's very sloppy to be like, oh, come talk to me. He pulls him aside. But I mean, like, Lorenzo and Polly are right there. Like, it's...
Yeah.
It's very explicit what's going on.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. Kyle, you have to, use some tact here. And even the next morning, Trey goes and hangs out with QT and Shoebomb, and Chase is like, what's going on here? It's a very small camp. I know it's hard, but I feel like there are ways to kind of, like, there has to be a way to do it, right? Like, people meet in the bathroom sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They meet at the tree house. Maybe those are the two places where you can do things. I don't know. Where else can you meet?
Yeah, I don't know. That is true. It's literally like a circle.
Yes.
At the beach.
Yeah. We get to the punishment selection. I thought that was interesting. Everybody instantly selects Morgan because she eats gross stuff. And Trey says he would feel bad because she would actually suffer, and they all ignore him. What do you guys think about Trey saying this?
So I don't know. It's fine, I guess.
Do we think that this was valid to not select somebody because they would suffer, Jordan?
No. No. Put that. Get her name on the wheel. Who gives a shit, right? Like, I mean, that's one moment where he just shouldn't have said anything. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, oh, that's nice that he's being sensitive. Then I was like, she doesn't have to compete in the challenge. She can just say no.
It's like choosing Kyle for the quiz. Like, he's going to suffer.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, she's not going to suffer, dude. Like, what's happening? So anyway, I think that they nominate Kyle because they think he's going to win. They nominate QT, and then they don't nominate Shu because they love him and they're going to protect him. They don't.
Shuby isn't gonna eat anything bad. Why are we gonna do that to him?
No, we can't do that to Shuby, and we don't want him to get any votes. We don't want him to go home.
Fuck Morgan, though.
Yeah, fuck Morgan. We got to get her home.
Yeah.
Also, who's Morgan?
Yeah, they're like, who's Morgan? Who? This challenge, I like a good eating challenge. I feel like the picture I see a lot is of QT eating the tarantula. So I'm glad that it's finally happened. Thoughts
Kyle
on
had the only good strategy. I thought he ate the other food with the gross thing each time.
Yeah.
Whereas like everyone else was like eating the gross thing by itself. It's like, no, mix it in with the mac and cheese. Mix it with the
Yeah.
pizza. It'll be
Well,
better.
except the
for-
roach. I thought the roach, he just tossed that back at first.
I thought he was like mixing it in with the mac and cheese. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see that.
I'm not sure. Whatever you gotta do, you just gotta house it.
Just
you
don't
know?
think about it. Just fucking oof.
Like
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
with that Tony with the milkshake, the moldy milkshake. He just downed that thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
Gross.
Do you guys think you could do this stuff? I think I could do it.
Yeah. I mean, being an OG Big Brother fan, I used to always think about like eating challenges and like, would I be able to do that?
Mm.
I would do it. Just
Yeah, I think with the money
and
on the
I have
line-
like, I have like arachnophobia too. Like the tiniest little fucking spider freaks me out. But I would have done it. I would have been screaming. It would have been crazy, but I would have done it.
I'm too much of a big baby. I wouldn't have been able to do it. There's no way.
Even with money on the line?
Nope.
Well,
Maybe. With money on the line, I could see.
You would attempt.
I would attempt it. I don't know if I could make it stay down. I don't know.
It's also like you got me eating a fucking tarantula and I'm still not immune. If I win this, I'm still not immune from the wheel. Are you kidding
we don't like
me?
that. Yeah. Ben, we wouldn't nominate you though, because we wouldn't want you to suffer. Don't
Thank
worry.
you.
Yeah.
I really
We'd say
appreciate that.
you're a beautiful baby boy. We
Somebody's looking out for me.
to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kyle wins as expected. We get to the blue cabin. Lorenzo and Georgia see Trey go into the Bears cabin, so they go and spy on him. We love a little spy caper on these shows.
Oh, yeah.
They hear the Bears tell Trey that they won't vote for him, and he'll vote for whoever they want. You really can't get away with shit here unless you're Shuby and Nick, apparently. Apparently nobody's getting away with anything.
Yeah.
Red cabin. George and Lorenzo tell everyone. Chase says he's going to wring his neck. We're getting very violent here.
Wow.
He's not going to get a taunt from production over that one.
No, I know. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Even in football, he'd get a penalty for that.
I know. A little aggressive.
Yeah.
Come on, Chase.
And like, how long has he been here now? 2 episodes, right?
Yeah. And he's already like super pissed.
Yeah, we're getting very like biblically moralistic here, you know? It's like if you do something that's sinful, you need to be punished, you know.
And then they keep thinking that the wheel will punish them, but really the wheel is Team TV. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Interesting how that works out. In a confessional, Georgia says Trey wants to win. It's like there's no friendship for him here. Yeah, maybe because none of you guys are friendly towards him. Maybe that's why. Maybe because he wants the money. Maybe because it's a game.
Yeah.
Blue cabin. Trey tells Kyle he's going to vote for Chase, and then Kyle is like, "Okay, well, why don't I just go tell Chase and the red team that that's what's happening?
Yeah,
turn them against each other."
Perfect.
Do we think this was the move? Or should they have just tried to work with Trey, the blue team? That's what I was thinking about.
Hold on. Sorry, I got lost.
Okay. So, Trey tells Kyle that he's voting for Chase.
Right.
And then Kyle makes the decision that he's going to tell Chase that Trey is voting for him. So it starts a war amongst the Eagles. This hasn't happened yet, but that's the decision that he makes.
Right.
Do we think that this is the correct strategy? That he tries to turn the Eagles against each other? Or should he have kept this secret?
Yes, and no. If he wasn't already trying to do something with Trey, I think it would have made sense to try to get them to like combust within each other. But he's also like, why were you trying to work with Trey in the first place if you're just going to immediately throw him under the bus once he's like gonna come for your boy? It's like, where's your loyalty at? Is it your team or is it with Chase?
Yeah.
I mean, they're already working against each other. Like, you don't have to do that much. Like, just keep that information to yourself and go along with it from here forth. And you have a silent number with you Come on now.
Especially with your like team dwindling down to like so little. It's like people are going to stop giving a fuck about the teams here in a minute anyways. Like there is a lot of people still here. There's so much social dynamics going on within here. Why you gotta mess up something that you're already kind of working towards? I didn't get it.
Sometimes I just wonder if people get bored. Like, do people just get bored and so they just like gossip, talk about it?
100%.
Like,
There's nothing to do.
that's how I think on Survivor too. When like people can't keep the idols to themselves, it's like, are you just bored? Like, do you just really want to tell somebody that you have this idol just to liven things up?
Kyle doesn't have any weird inspirational videos to post every morning, so all he has to do is to strategize.
Hey there, baby girl.
Jordan had to walk off screen.
Baby girl, you're gonna make.
You're not gonna
through.
get me in trouble.
Hey, baby girl.
You're gonna make it through this, baby girl.
Yeah, I know you're engaged.
You're a fighter.
You're a fighter, baby girl. I love you, baby girl. I know that your life is impossible without.
I gotta go
every morning.
You think that's how he talks to Deuce?
Yeah,
listen, he's making that money. He's making that money, so good for him.
Lorenzo tells Georgia that he's voting for Kyle because Kyle is strong and Trey is a shield. He's like, we just need to keep Trey around because he's always going to be a target. Lorenzo and Georgia, like, they really know kind of like what's up, you know? Like, it's like they're the QT and Shuby of the red team.
They are.
Like, really, I think like
it's a good comparison.
I forget, QT was like, me and Shuby think 3 steps ahead, and Kyle doesn't know how to do that. And I also think that's the way that Georgia and Lorenzo operate. Like, actually thinking ahead and not just being like, we do this and this and this and blah, 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 blah. You know, I really appreciate the way that they think about the game. It's not the most exciting, but it's nice to see.
I think Nick. I think you can throw Nick in that category too. I think.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I
he's
agree.
Thinking long term, he's just laying low because he's in such a good spot. So
yeah,
he's laying just so low that I feel like we don't see him that much, and we don't really get we don't really see what exactly his strategy is outside of like probabilities. You know,
I mean, he did kind of have no other choice, especially after when he came in. There was so much heat on him. Now that there's not heat, it's like, why do I want to, turn up the fire a little bit?
Yeah,
there's no reason to gameplay right now for him.
No, I think he's doing really well.
Just keep your name off the wheel and you're good.
Yeah.
Kyle tells Chase that Trey is voting for him. Chase is like, okay, well, he has to go, and Nick agrees. Let's get to voting. The thing that stood out for me from this vote was Chase's voting confessional here.
There's been a mole inside the Eagle house. I think there's been a wolf in the Eagle's nest. I think it's time that we let him go.
This is not the mole. This is Battle Camp, and all of the mole contestants are now gone. So
they're gone.
Wrong show. Sorry. Embarrassing. Let's get to the wheel. Morgan gets a vote from Georgia. Georgia says she had to do what's best for her team. Voting for Morgan. I think that her climbing up the wall really fast kind of threatened.
What, it intimidated her?
Yeah. I mean, she is athletically impressive. I don't know. It's just hard to get a read on what's going on because we don't see her.
Yeah. It's like, what else is she
Maybe
doing?
Georgia
Okay,
was
she can
threatened by.
climb.
What's that, Jordan?
I said, what else is she doing? Okay, she can climb.
She's flying under the radar, which is Georgia's thing. So maybe Georgia feels threatened by her having the same strategy. I don't
know. When Trey comes up and says like, I'm not part of like the pecking order of my team, or like I'm at the bottom of it, Chase says that's not true. Like, we took you in and then you spat in our face. It's just like
also, why is Chase the voice of the team? You just got here.
Because he's the captain. He was made the captain of the team, Jordan. Chase is the captain, and he's the biggest. He's the alpha. He has muscles.
He's the QB. He's QB1.
He is the most Instagram and TikTok followers, so that's how it works.
That is
They go in
true.
order of
You are
followers.
the top dog if you have the most followers. On
Yeah,
social.
go swipe.
I'm targeting your ass now.
Yeah. Trey only gets 3 votes though, from Chase, Nick, and Polly. Georgia gets a vote from Morgan. Morgan says she'd be an individual threat for later. The small girls are going after each other. The short girls.
This round of voting was interesting because everybody sort of voted for each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they knew that they were voting for each other, but
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Lorenzo votes for Kyle. He says he's a strong player and really likable. Kyle votes for Lorenzo. Very spot on, Ben. Yeah. Chase gets votes from Trey, QT, and Shuby, of course. I like how Taylor points out that the Bears only received 2 votes. This was like the Bear. I think that's they even talk about. It's like this was our best chance, and the wheel just did not help us out at all.
Yeah.
You know. The results are Morgan is eliminated. This is the happiest that I saw her on the show.
I know she did not. She was ready to go. Her bags had been packed since she never unpacked. She did not care at all.
She actually cracked a smile this time. Yeah,
I know. I see her smile. She was so excited to go home and eat some bread, chips, and ranch. She was so excited.
In the air while I'm doing flips.
Yeah. So stoked. They're like, "Oh, we're so sorry." She's like, "It's fine. It's fine."
Yeah. She's like, "Just be nice to one another."
Guys.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
Morgan, why are you doing cartwheels right now while you're saying that?
This is what I do when I'm devastated.
Get me back to God's country right now.
Different Morgan. Yeah.
Just to clarify, that Happy New Year was to you, Jordan, but then Ben, it also was to you.
Oh, thank you.
Just to let you guys know.
Appreciate that.
We've all
double happy.
Double happy. Okay. Kyle's super upset about all of that.
I didn't understand. He threw a fit over it, and I'm like, okay. And QT's not stressed at all. She is not. She's like, let's calm it down. It's okay. This is fine. We're gonna figure it out. And Kyle is distraught. I'm like, what?
Yeah. She's like, we got a pretty good appearance fee to be here, so let's just chill out. Come on. Yeah. So Red Cabin really tense when Trey comes back to the cabin. Really kind of awkward. Did they make him switch to a cot too? Did Chase take a bad? Be like, you're taking the cot. I hope that didn't happen. Yeah. Blue Cabin in the morning. They plan that Kyle will suggest that Trey throws the challenge, and Shuby encourages everyone that they keep all of their conversations encrypted. Of course, this does not happen whatsoever. I don't think Kyle knows what that means.
Yeah. And none of the camp can spell it. That's for sure.
No, no, definitely not. Trey does tell everyone he will no longer betray the Eagles. We get the conversation with Kyle and Trey. Kyle does point out that the Bears did not vote for Trey. And he says, I thought of a plan. You guys lose the challenge, and then we punish whoever you want. And Trey says he needs to think on it. I will say one thing. I think that should the Bears have voted for Trey just to lower a number on the Eagles?
I still think you should be going after the big dogs.
Yeah, because then Trey will still be there, and they don't like
him. Trey's still could be somewhat of a free agent. Plus, he's not going to be as big of a threat as someone like Chase or Nick in these challenges against you.
You're right, and it doesn't matter who is voted for as long as the probability is better that it's not you. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. What do we think about their attempt to try to get Trey to throw the challenge? I guess they had to do something.
They had to. Yeah. At first, I was thinking it was a good idea until I started thinking about the numbers. Because Trey points it out later when he decides not to to throw it. It's like it doesn't make sense. There's only 3 of you and there's 5 of them.
Yeah,
So
right
it's like
before-
even. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, right before he did that, I came to the same conclusion as you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just makes no sense. Shuby and Nick says Shuby's probability would be better if the Eagles lost, which I just thought that it's like, okay, you guys are giving us all this probability stuff, and then this is like a really obvious one.
6 slots in the wheel already filled up by all of us.
Ooh, Mickey.
Then another 2 for the
It's like
punishment.
Christmas.
It's like Christmas.
Just like the wheel.
It's like Spider-Man's first Christmas, Nikki.
And then Shuby like puts his head on Nick's shoulder for a second.
What if it was snowing, Nikki? Would you keep me warm by the fire? You sent me a Christmas card this year. You forgot last year.
Oh my god.
We get to shots fired. They we know how this works. Nick brought up an interesting thing here.
I haven't slingshot before.
Slingshot, is that the past tense of slingshot?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay, so what is the past tense of is it I haven't
I think
slingshot
slingshot
before?
might mean something completely different.
Look that up on Urban Dictionary
Yeah.
and see what comes up.
I'm
Yeah.
scared.
I am scared.
I'll have to do it in an incognito tab.
It sounds like a jackass stunt. Slingshot.
Yeah.
Is it slingshotted? Slingshot? Listeners, let us know.
I would
Shot
say
the slingshot.
slingshotted.
Sling-
Or
slingshot.
just slingshot.
Slingshot, yeah.
Slingshot past tense. Yeah.
I like this challenge. It does really kind of suck that the blue that the Bears are just like gonna get destroyed. You know?
Yeah. Because it's like the Eagles at least have enough people to keep going through rotation. It's like you have 3 people, and if y'all aren't good, then it's like fuck. Like we're just gonna keep do.
Yeah, because even if they can like pull off one round, they're gonna be too tired the next round. Like Kyle plays pro basketball and he got tired out. It's like Shuby is not gonna be able to beat Chase. Like
you
not
can't do
gonna
the
happen.
physical. You can't do the physical challenges. So what the producers are like? Well, we could give them a spelling one. Oh wait, we can't do.
Yeah.
This blue team is they're screwed.
That's true. The blue team had their chance, so I take it back.
They can't even spell. So what's
They can't
going
even
on?
spell, so you know. I did think it was fun though. I liked it. I liked the slingshot and stuff. Like, it was cool.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Yeah, the Eagles win again, and then they don't even need to nominate for the punishment. Kyle in Georgia says this was the hardest thing they've ever done. Everybody always says that about stuff on this show. It's the hardest decision I've ever made.
I don't
It's the
know.
hardest
Hiding
thing
a
I've ever
human
done.
in a luggage is pretty tough. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really hard to.
It's really hard to zip a woman into a big suitcase, right?
Yeah. And then getting your girlfriend out of the room before she suffocates, like that's really impressive too.
Those things are difficult.
Yeah.
Come on, Kyle. Did you forget? He's got a new chapter to his book now, so that's good.
Yeah. I have a question. We're the 3 of us are Gen Z, so we don't. But
Yeah.
maybe Jordan, you can help explain this if you can for the listeners. Lorenzo and Georgia take a selfie with a Polaroid, and Lorenzo talks about how Gen Z people take selfies in a certain way. Do you know what he was talking about?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's such a millennial. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's a crazy millennial.
Yeah. Unlike us Gen Z.
He's chuggy.
I don't know. He's just chuggy. We don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. He's holding the camera. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fucking Polaroid.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, Chase and Kyle Chase and Kyle are talking at the table, and Shubham and Trey are watching them because everybody is always like, well, those two are up to something. Oh,
Yeah.
let's hear what Trey has to say.
There's nothing I hate more than watching strong, conventionally attractive men laugh about being in power.
Trey has some confidence issues that he needs to.
Also, like, I mean, everyone's seeing this. Why? I mean, whatever. It's like everyone's clocking this so fast. This Kyle and Chase thing.
Yeah, well, they of course just completely revealed themselves at the voting too.
Yeah. So. And then they call Shuby over, and Kyle's like, "Hey, we're gonna vote for Trey because I run shit."
Yeah, he literally I wrote this down because I was like, no fucking way Kyle said this. He said, I'm going to make QT and I'm going to make Shuby. Like, vote for fucking Trey. I was like, what do you mean you're going to make them? You're going to make QT?
Yeah.
You're going to make QT do something. Okay, let's
Kyle
back
doesn't
it up,
make
boy.
QT do anything. QT makes Kyle do things. Let's
And
get
also,
this
like,
straight.
Shuby's really nice, but he's not a chump. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
he's not going to vote the way that you want him to.
Yeah.
He actually usually votes. He doesn't vote with the team. He only
he
votes
does what he
for
wants.
Chase.
Yeah. Little does Kyle know Shuby's been voting for Chase.
Yeah.
Come on, Kyle.
I love Kyle, but he's kind of making things a little messy.
A little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't even, I think it's edited this way, but we don't even see Shuby respond to them. He must have said something, but we just see him be like, and walk away. It's very awkward. Yeah. And then, of course, Shuby is like being the worst liar ever. It was about someone, it was about Trent.
Yeah, and he's like, it's not about you. And then he's like, well, was it a good thing or like a bad thing? And it looks like Trey right in the eyes. And he's like, well, about this person? Oh, it wasn't the best thing.
Oh, I wasn't over there. I just saw you over there. Well, I wasn't talking to those two guys. Well, you just admitted that there were two guys over there.
Yeah,
and you were talking to them. So what's going on, Shuby? I don't. They weren't conspiring against you. I don't know.
Hey, it's worked for him this far. Keep it up.
Yeah. I do like how Shuby later like confronts Kyle and is like, "Don't bring me into relationships."
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
but he did it in a good way. You know. Like,
yeah, he really did.
Very
Please, sir, do not. I humbly request.
With great power comes great responsibility. This is something you always got to remember. It's the Spider-Man way.
That was the encrypted conversation. I only want to participate in encrypted ones. So the Red Cabin, they talk about target. Georgia wants to target QT. Nick says Kyle. Chase says QT. Then Trey says, "Well, I'm voting Kyle because he told me to throw the challenge yesterday." And then this is where Chase is like, "Yeah, well, duh. Kyle's my guy, so it's okay when he's a snake." Talked about that. Kyle talks in the Blue Cabin about talking to Chase and putting votes on Trey, and Shuby's like, "Once again, can we please keep it on the DL? Please, pretty please."
I do think when Trey in the cabin, when he brought up the Kyle wanting to throw a thing, I do think that sort of woke up like Georgia and Lorenzo a little bit to being like,
I agree.
Maybe I could trust Trey more than I could trust Chase going forward, and maybe the rankings have changed a little bit.
No, yeah, it was definitely a good move to like really prove himself in the challenge. And prove himself on the climbing wall in the previous challenge to show like I'm willing to win challenges, and then to do this to be like, you know, here's information is power, blah blah blah. So
yeah.
Chase and Kyle talk about voting for Trey and stuff like that. QT is upset with Kyle. Let's get to the punishment. This was bad. I did see one question. How tall is the Empire State Building? That is one that I was like, okay, I don't know that off the top of my head. That would have been one difficult.
No, did you have to get it exact or just?
That's what I saw. How tall is the Empire State Building?
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, who knows that fact?
46th president. I thought I
that
know
was
that.
one everyone should have gotten. I feel like
I wouldn't know.
you wouldn't have, because I always have equated, the first Trump was 45,
right?
So that's then you go 46, you got Biden.
Yeah, I could count backwards presidents, but maybe not the numbers.
Yeah. If music be the food of love, play on. I mean, I think the guessing is pretty easy here, right?
Yeah.
No, Jordan. No, you didn't know.
Which one?
Taylor Swift isn't exactly
music.
Oh yeah. That was
Taylor Swift isn't exactly Shakespearean with her lyrics.
100%.
No, I thought the image being Barbie. Identify this country. Kyle says Alaska.
Listen, I wouldn't have got New Zealand, but Alaska was a crazy guess.
Yeah, that is the crazy part. Not knowing.
I could see you mixing New Zealand with like some sort of other island country, like a Philippines or something like or Japan or something. But Alaska
was crazy.
Yeah, that was bad.
And that's coming from the guy that also doesn't know the order of the presidents.
The nearest star to Earth.
Yeah, come on. This was
come on.
Well, even like when it was Taylor Swift and Shakespeare, Kyle read the question but didn't see that it was this or that.
Yeah, he said, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think he left it blank, right? He didn't even put either one down.
As far as we know.
Come on.
Circle the adjective. We only saw QT do this one. The pre-antepenultimate letter. That was I had not seen that word before.
Yeah.
Well, it's just taking steps backwards from Z.
Yes,
based on how many prefixes there are.
Are you a big pre-antepenultimate fan?
No, I know what penultimate means, and
well,
so
I knew
if you go from there.
I knew penultimate, and then I was like antepenultimate. I was like, so you're at Z, you're at Y, and then I was like, I think I would have guessed X. I'm not sure if I would have been at W, especially in the heat of the moment.
Why would you? If there were 4 prefixes, I'm going 4 back.
Yeah, that shit would have been blank for me.
Yeah, that's not the easiest one.
Did Shuby get that one?
Shuby put A.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna guess nobody got that then.
QT put Y.
Yeah.
The answer was W. That's not the easiest one. Rearrange hump tennis into one 10-letter word. The answer was punishment. I feel like these you either like see it instantly or like it's tough.
Right.
Yeah, some people are really good at these. Some people are terrible at them.
Yeah.
It's just that type of thing. Yeah.
Yes. So Kyle got 4, QT got 8, Shuby got 9. So yeah.
Out of 15. I want to know if Shuby knew the height of the Empire State Building right down.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Right down to the centimeter. Yeah. That's a crazy one.
I know.
Yeah.
I know like One World Trade Center is like 1776 because like that was intentional because it was originally like the Freedom Tower or whatever. But I don't know the Empire State Building off the top of my head because it's just not in my I don't know.
I know the original World Trade Centers are 0.
Yeah, that's good then. That's really good knowledge to have. That could be really useful when you're on battle camp.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Red Eagles team, Lorenzo and Trey are in the hot tub. They call everybody over, including Chase, and everybody agrees they're going to vote for Kyle. And Chase says he's not happy about it, but he gets it.
Yeah.
He's on board.
Yep. So what's going on?
Chase? I don't know.
As he should be, right? Because it would be pretty hypocritical to not.
And immoral.
And it would be it'd be a really bad look.
Yeah.
Does he just think he's that valuable to the red team that he can sort of get away with it? It's like an ego thing, right?
100,000% yes.
Yeah, he just thinks there's no way they'd ever vote me out, so I can do whatever I want. So it's
He has
fine.
over 2 million followers, and he was on
That's true.
House of Heat. Were any of them on House of Heat? I don't think so.
I don't think
Yep.
so.
And he was on Pop the Balloon Live.
Yeah, were they on Pop the Balloon Live?
Did everyone pop their balloon for him? Were there some unpopped balloons? I want to know.
We get to Red Cabin. Chase makes a big show of the fact that he voted for Kyle and that he's not a twisted, two-faced person. And Trey makes a point in confessional that he didn't even vote for Louis, but Kyle's Chase's best friend. Why did Chase even make a big show about it if he's going to do this?
Yeah, that was so weird. Like, why did they just completely isolated them? I don't know.
I mean, for TV probably, which appreciated.
Maybe they're going on a date after.
Yeah, I really do like the date theory here. I think Shuby understands that. I think he asked a similar question.
Are we gonna be bunk buddies? That'd be super sick.
Chase, you're gonna have to get a much bigger suitcase for Chase. Chase is a big guy.
Let's get to the wheel. I like Lorenzo's fashion. He was really good.
Yeah. Was this the crocheted thing? Is that
the
what you're
crocheted
talking
thing
about?
with like the headpiece too? It was great.
I almost wondered because the colors are like they're Mexico, but it's also like Italy, right? So maybe he just repurposed the Italy sweatshirt for Mexico.
Maybe.
It's a good idea.
The wheel gets 4 spin again segments to make things spicier. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. Nick, Polly, Georgia, Lorenzo, 0 votes. Chase gets a vote from Shuby, 3rd time in a row. Says it could open up the game for him, Shuby, if Chase leaves. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But what do you think he means by it could open up the game for him?
That means that he will now have to start voting for someone else. I think that's all it means.
Well, that is true. Yeah. Maybe it's something that has to do with Nick. Maybe it frees him and Nick up to work together more.
Yeah, but I think Nick was already going to be more loyal to Shuby over Chase.
Yeah, I feel that too. Although Nick is pretty loyal to the team too, to the red team. Yeah, I don't know. Nick's playing sort of a quiet game right now. It's hard to tell what he's doing.
Chase gets a vote. I wrote Kyle, but this has to be wrong.
Kyle voted for Trey.
Oh, Kyle voted for Trey. Okay. QT.
And Chase voted for Trey.
Yes. QT says Kyle's connection with Chase is bad. Who else voted for Chase? Didn't he get 3 votes?
I just have Shubham and QT.
Okay, maybe it should be in QT. Okay. Trey gets votes from Chase and Kyle, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Chase votes for... No, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then does Nick get votes?
Nope.
No.
Who gets 5 votes? I wrote my notes are wrong.
Kyle
gets votes from Nick.
Kyle's got the majority on the board.
Okay. Kyle gets votes from Nick, Polly, Trey, Lorenzo, and Georgia.
Yeah, he's on there the most by far.
Late. I got confused and wrote the wrong things.
No,
My apologies.
You silly little goose.
You're
just a big rascal.
I am.
It's Kyle with the odds of going home.
Yes.
At this point. Yeah.
And it's like a team vote. Nick's like, it's a team vote. We just decided on this, so we're gonna do it. Also, he's the one who appears to be strategizing, and QT and Shuby just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, QT and Shuby get 0 votes. You know, their odds are like way better.
Yeah.
And Kyle just keeps calling Trey a snake, and Trey is like, "We voted for each other."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
At this point, Trey doesn't even need to say that much. I think everybody sees it. Everybody sees what's going on.
Yeah, like how Chase like, I couldn't sleep at night betraying my friend. I couldn't do that, so that's why I did this. Okay.
All right.
I think
you weren't even
about
there.
Team.
You weren't even there. Have you ever even met Louis? Like, come on, dude.
You guys have known each other for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what is going on? I was just so confused.
Oh man. Well,
everywhere.
So Jordan, how are you feeling about the show overall? You know,
I thought I was just gonna like seeing people I know get to play again. I thought I was not gonna like the format, but I especially like episodes 5 through 8, a lot of fun. Yeah. Once people started like learning how to game it, it's been so much fun. The fucking drama amping up, like,
yeah,
I've been having a blast.
It gets better and better every episode. I think the more they're getting down to it and have to start strategizing.
Which do y'all know the end game format? Because I do not.
No, we don't know.
I haven't watched past this point.
Nope.
I hope it's wheel related. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It might be.
Well, I'm like, our team's gonna be disbanded. I mean, I would assume they have to be.
They have to go individual at some point. I mean, they'll have to if they vote out, the last 3 blue guys. So,
but there's only 2 episodes left, right?
Yeah,
9 and 10.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad about that. I'm really enjoying it.
I mean, if
10 episodes did feel a little short.
If a blue person goes home, if it's Kyle, QT, or Shuby, then you would think that they want to merge those 2 teams, because to just have 2 of those people versus all the red,
makes no sense.
That's
they're not going to do
that.
That
Would be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Would you want to play Battle Camp, Jordan? Would you want to go on the show?
100%. I would try my hardest to win, but if I'm being like, I couldn't do what Trey did. Like, if I was in Trey's position and I walked into that cabin at night and I knew everyone there didn't like me, I couldn't shut the fuck up. There's just no way. So I think there's so many areas where I would get myself in trouble.
We need you on the show.
I would get myself in trouble. I don't know. But yes, it would be so fun to do. Like in-person social strategy, that's what I feel like I got robbed out of a little bit with the circle, right? There was never a time to like lie and cover my tracks.
Yeah.
To call people boring to their face, to throw actual tomatoes at them.
Bro, that is such bullshit.
Oh my god!
I feel like everyone's answering so indirectly and giving BS answers, and it's just annoying.
I want to see Jordan call Taylor.
Confessionals.
I want to see Jordan call Taylor the host boring into his face.
You're giving nothing.
They kicked me off right there.
Give us something.
But I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't be as like as crazy as Tony was. Like I feel like Tony had something going for him, and then I don't know what happened. Like I would be a little more tactful. I just know there's times where I couldn't hold my mouth.
No, with Tony, it's a whole other story. I think Tony has a lot of things he needs to work out in his own life. Yeah.
How athletic are you? I ask because I'm not athletic. So whenever I think of going on these shows, I'd be like, well, I would just, they would be like, leave,
I don't know. The only thing I don't know.
I've never played.
I did a Tough Mudder like Spartan event one time when I was 20, and I fucking blazed through that. But that's the most thing I've.
Could you do like a climbing wall? A climbing wall?
Yeah, climbing wall, like running under mud and like electric cables. But that was also 5 years ago, and I haven't done it since. So, but.
Could you eat a tarantula? Or we've discussed this. You would.
Yeah, I would. It would be pretty awful, but I think I would do it.
We've just been encouraging people before you go on these shows, take steroids, take testosterone, take pH. That's what you got to do. So.
And what again is the height of the World Trade Centers? The original ones? You need to know this. You need to know this before going on. Jordan's like, I'm not fucking answering that.
Bro, that is such bullshit.
You're not gonna clip me saying that shit.
Oh my god. Okay, so who's y'all's winner's pick? Or do you, if you're non-spoiled?
We are.
Well, I feel like it's been changing. Like, I don't know about you, Max, but it's been changing for me. Like almost every episode.
I'm gonna say Lorenzo right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Daddy Nick right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm spoiled, so I'm not even gonna lie and act like
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, good. Thank you. We appreciate that.
We do. Yeah.
I could have lied and made myself look really smart.
Yeah. Thank you. So those are our winner picks. Our original winner picks, Ben had Lexi and I had Gabby.
Yep. So we fucked up.
We're
pretty
really
bad.
smart.
Yeah. I did enjoy Gabby on the show. She did. I liked what she gave. She gave character.
Yeah.
Morgan, bless your heart, baby girl.
Yeah. Lexi was really fun on her first show and like very aggressive and like would fight a lot. I don't know what happened to her this show.
Yeah, she was like a completely different person on this show.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Sad.
I know.
Same thing with Irina. The internet got to her.
I know.
Oh, well, also, since we're talking about Irina, there was never a tear that went down her face. I don't know if y'all caught that or not.
I brought that up too.
Yeah, I was like, there is not a tear on that face. And then Gabby is sobbing for her, and Irina's almost like smiling while she's fake crying.
It's a trait that she's learned ever since the Love is Blind reunion.
Yeah.
So she's had to keep that up.
She would have had a lot of
people.
potential on the show if she went further, I think.
Yeah, if she just embraced like the villain side of her, like it would be
You can't let it fucking get to you, especially if you're going on a show again. Like, don't go on the show if you let the internet get to you.
Yeah.
The first time.
She needs to talk to you, Jordan, because she really had it rough after Love is Blind. Like, she had a lot of people coming at her really hard.
I mean, yeah, but Love is Blind is also like real life. The circle is a game. So like,
I was gonna say
if
also
someone's dragging me for that, it could have been a little different.
That fan base is like a million times bigger than the circle.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
she probably still gets stopped on the street, like it's probably nuts. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Yeah, like that was a really big season too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm actually surprised they didn't cast more Love is Blind people on this show just because of how huge Love is Blind is.
It's their biggest reality IP. It's very strange. Like they have to be available. It's not even a dating show. Like you would think that they would cast more Love is Blind people.
Yeah, like
maybe next season they will. I think
Yeah.
this season they probably wanted to get like we have 4 people from the circle, 2 squiddies, 2 moles. They needed some strategy in there to help guide the show for the first season.
Yeah.
But like
So I
there
think
are
that could
some
change.
athletic people that have been in Love is Blind. Like
That's true.
We've had like professional athletes and stuff.
That's true.
You know, like Kwame, wasn't he? He was like a professional
The soccer player, yeah.
Like there could have been some good ones in there, but
Sometimes people just don't want to do shit. But
yeah,
hard to
well,
imagine.
that's what I was gonna say. It could be they asked Kwame and he couldn't.
He's been dealing with some like stomach illness stuff too. So,
Yeah.
But Jordan, thank you so much for joining us today. We love having you on the podcast. We think you're a great guest.
Always a
Thanks for having
blast.
me.
Yes.
Always.
Would you like to promote anything, or where can people find you on the World
Girl, I
Wide
don't
Web?
got shit to promote, but you can follow me on Instagram at @EdgeJordanStaff. That's where I shit post sometimes. But other than that, baby girl, we're just vibing.
We are just vibing. Well, you can join me and Ben on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. PST for the season finale and episodes 9 and 10 of Battle Camp. We're going to be recapping that here at youtube.com/Reality Alert Live and on Instagram at Reality Alert Podcast. And make sure to subscribe to us at patreon.com/Reality Alert, where we have ad-free episodes and a bunch of bonus content like the upcoming Battle Camp Center, where we are going to be talking about all of the social media coming up. And hopefully we'll have some interviews for you. I'm sure we'll have at least 2 or 3 and hopefully more. So we'll hear everybody really soon. Anything else, guys?
No.
I'm solid.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your 2 best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
I haven't slingshot before.